So this is the hair episode and you're amazing. And so let's just like start at the beginning of you. So like I want to know because I don't know that I know this. What um
How
what
I started with hair?
yes, basically. Like what
Oh,
inspired you to like your origin story of hair?
this is really funny. And I actually was so embarrassed to tell the story for so long. For so long. I was so
No.
embarrassed. It was an accident. It was a
What?
complete accident, me getting into hair. I wanted to do makeup and I thought I enrolled in a makeup course.
Oh no.
And I was in high school, so I've been doing hair forever. And I had to like change all my classes. I had to do like get permission from like my parents and all these people. It took 6 months. And then I get to like my cosmetology course. And my 16-year-old brain thought cosmetology was the study of cosmetics.
Okay.
And so I get to the school and they're like, okay, this is your bag. And they're like bringing out like a doll head and some curling irons and a blow dryer. And I'm like, if I'm sure my eyes were like getting bigger and bigger as I'm standing there.
Oh,
And I was like, yeah, so how much of this is makeup? And they're like, oh, well, nothing at all, maybe 10%, but we just teach you how to pass the state test. So I'm like, oh. So by this time, I had changed so many things. I told my parents, like, I had to convince them. And I'm like, I promise you, I'm going to go to college. And I wanted to leave. Like, I wanted that to be, I was like, I don't want to do this. I wanted to do makeup. And they made me stay. And I think that was one of the best decisions I ever made because it was like plan B. I was like, I'll always have a plan B. I'll be a makeup artist. But it ended up being a hairstylist.
oh my God. Wait. So, Tildy, do you do makeup as well?
So I do men's makeup because they didn't teach me anything. So I just do like skin and like make you look like yourself and make you like have really pretty skin. But they didn't teach me, they taught me how to be sanitized and that's it.
Ah, oh, sorry. That's just funny.
It is. No, it is.
This is
But
crazy. Why
I
are you
feel like
embarrassed to tell the story?
I was embarrassed. I was young forever. I was like, oh, I just wanted to do hair. But now I'm like older. So I'm like, oh my gosh, I was a dumb kid.
No, also, this is just one of those stories that almost like reminds you that like you kind of, I don't know, like sometimes you think a door has closed. Sometimes you think you've made a mistake. Sometimes you think you've taken the wrong step or like whatever. And you really learn a whole new and find a whole new thing. Like you never know. All you have to do is like take the step. Like
Yeah.
you didn't know. Like so, but you took the step and you stayed, and oh my God, you were
I
16.
know. I was 16 when I was in beauty school.
I love this
I
story.
think I barely just learned how to drive. So I had to like drive myself to beauty school in the valley.
You
Um,
LA, right?
in LA. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
yeah, yeah.
lived
Okay,
here.
got it for LA.
So yeah, it was really funny. And I feel like that's kind of how my journey has been in being a hairstylist and working with who I work with. It's just like randomly someone's like, "Oh my gosh, I need a favor. Can you do this?" I'm like, "Sure." And it just happened to be a music video with like one of the biggest artists around.
Can you say
And I'm
who?
like, Big
Yeah.
Sean.
Wow.
Yeah, it was just like
Cool.
super random things that I'm like, yeah, I'll do it. And I don't know what it is. And
It's
it's
what
been
you were
great.
called to do. Like literally. It's like you just got called to do it. Like, so you're, and let me tell you, like, you are magic. Like
Oh,
you
thank you.
can, oh my God. Like I I have never had, we don't even have to talk anymore. Like, I don't even have to tell you. Like, I'll just be like, oh, I want a side part, or I want this or that, or I want to kind of this look for this thing or whatever. And Tildy will have this, like, she'll take my hair, which is really heavy and it was kind of a lot. And like, what, and she'll just turn it into magic. I don't even look in the mirror. I don't even check it along. Like, you are such an artist. Anyway, so good. Oh my God. I love that story so much.
I
And
know.
now you're like you're like the stylist to the stars, the hairstylist to the stars.
I've gotten to do and work with some really amazing people. And it's really great to meet. I mean, meeting you was so fun.
We have
I was
so much
it
fun.
what?
We just have so much fun.
We do.
You're just like an angel. Tildy is
Oh,
like,
you're so sweet. Thanks,
I
friend.
mean, you literally can like you could be having a stressful day. You could be having, and by the way, I'll say this too about, I mean, and most people will know this. If you get your makeup done, but everyone does their hair. Like, you know what I mean? Like hair is like a thing. You have to get it cut. You have to keep up with it. Like there's a,
Right. Yeah.
and skincare too, but maybe you don't get your makeup done as much, but you have, and like these people, they're in close proximity to you. We share a lot of energy. We share a lot of like personal space together. We share. Tildy is one of those people that like no matter what is happening in the room, energy wise, like she comes in and just like lifts it up. It's like an angel has walked
Aw,
in the room. It's true
thank you.
though, and I know Anton would say the same thing. Like you are such an angel. And I remember too, Peanut. Oh my God, Tildy.
Oh, my little
Oh,
peanut.
she loved you so much. You have to meet
I
Lionel
love
in the other
her.
room, but I have a new little baby.
I
Uh,
know. Lionel. Lionel.
Mac has to
They
uh
have to meet.
yeah, for sure. Um
Yeah.
okay. Okay. That first off, love that story. I love it so much. Did you just go into hair and then that was it? Like there was no like I mean, once this happened, there really
Yeah.
was another I mean, look at you. This is
No,
crazy.
I mean, I went to school. I went to school for fashion. I took like tons of different languages in college.
Oh
I
wow.
did all the artsy things that you could do, and hair was the thing. I did nonprofit work. I traveled. I lived in Thailand, but hair was always the thing that no matter where you go, like I was in Thailand cutting people's hair, and someone's like, "Well, I want highlights, but they don't know my hair type. Can you do like curly hair?" So anywhere I've been in the world, like hair is just the thing that like everyone needs.
Yeah,
Everyone will always need a haircut. So
right.
yeah, even when I was in college, when I was going to fashion school, someone's like, "Oh my gosh, you do hair?" I'm like, "Yes, I work at a salon while I'm going to school." And they're like, "Oh my gosh, can you cut my hair?" So they became my clients. So it's always,
So you did
yeah.
cutting, coloring, like you've done every.
Yeah.
Oh
I
my,
worked at a salon for 8 years, maybe, here in LA in Sherman Oaks.
which
Um,
salon?
it was called the Howard Kurtz Salon,
Okay.
HK Salon on Ventura Boulevard. It's still there.
Oh my God, I love that.
Which is a great salon. It was also another accident. My one of my friends got a job as an assistant, and she didn't want to do it. And she's like, "You'd be perfect." And that's how I got my job, and I stuck with that job until I was done working at a salon.
That's incredible, Tildy. This is
Yeah.
so cool. And you're right about like hair. Hair is like such an extension of us in so many ways. That's like, and it says, and it's so individual. Like everybody's hair is different, and our face shapes, and our eyes, and
Yeah.
skin coloring and like everything. It's just like it in your hair. I feel like if you're having a bad hair day, it just is it's a bad day.
It is.
Like I swear. And I feel like when you do my hair, and I can do my hair a million times, I can try new products, try new things. I'll never ever get it to look the way that Tilda gets it to look. And not only that, it will stay. Like I don't wash my hair after you do my hair for a few days because it actually stays in that whatever the wave, the curl that I can look at this. It's just since we've been on the Zoom. I had wavier for those who are listening. I had much wavier hair just like 15 minutes ago.
It
Um,
looks so good though. It's
oh, you're
very boho.
building. Thank you. Let's get in. I have some questions of my own.
Yeah.
But I want to ask you kind of about, I mean, I think this is one of the questions we had from the listeners too, is like around, I think trends is always a tricky thing because I think like what works for you is your trend.
Yeah.
Like, is there anything that like you've been seeing that you're like, oh, this kind of works across the board, or this is really cool, or an accessory or a product that is like kind of a new thing? that like you love or that you're seeing or that you even want to like talk about?
Yes. I would love to talk about this because I really love it. And we actually did it on Angelique, which is one of our mutual um,
Yay! Oh, Angelique
friends.
Cabral is who we're talking about. We love her so much.
Yes,
And
we love her so much. But bows are coming back.
oh my God, I've seen
And
the bow. I'm obsessed with the bow. In fact, I saw your bow.
yes,
You did Angelique's hair
yeah,
in a bow kind of in the back, like this simple. Oh my God, I
yeah.
loved it. It was
I
beautiful.
yes. And the oversized, I always love things that are like a little bit oversized just because you can see it. Like,
Yeah.
so
It's a statement.
she opened up a drawer and she's like, "Do you want to use a bow?" And she had like all of these, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, my heart is so happy." So that is one of the things that is coming back, and it's probably started in the '80s, but now it's trends come back again in different ways. But I've seen bows, which I love, headbands. I love wearing
I was just
headbands.
gonna say, I love your headband, and I saw a picture the other day of a headband. I actually screenshot it, and I was like, "Oh, I want to get a headband. I want to bring the
Oh
head.
my
I
gosh,
want to
yes,
do that again too." We have, the long hair. It's nice to get it out of the face, but it's such a
yes.
beautiful accessory.
But it's also like when my hair is flat, I always tell everyone it's like my form of a hat. Like you just put it on and everyone's like, "Oh my gosh, you took so much time." I'm like, "It's 6 in the morning." I did not. You just put on the headband and everyone thinks you did something.
I love Tilde. I love it. I want to do a headband.
You should.
You get a
You
black
should
headband.
order all of them. Try them all on.
Yeah, I will. I'll try them all on. And I've been seeing the bow thing, but when I saw Angelique's story or I think it was yours, yesterday that I was like, oh my God, it's like a perfect bow. And yeah, maybe it was the 80s. Has it been that?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It's been that, and I think and this is actually goes back to fashion school, how trends, they come and they go, but it's always the same thing in a different way. And that's one of them. And in the '80s, it was like oversized bows to the max, like
Yeah.
in dresses, in hair.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, that's in it, but I love it. It's like more chic now. It's a little bit like more pulled back
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
I was
No, I
gonna say in
know
the,
exactly how
but
you did it.
it's
It felt
2020.
very like Chanel-y or like
Yes.
yeah. Um yeah, and I'm also loving bows on blouses and things too. I think that's kind of coming back. But similar bow, like that perfect tailored.
Yeah, the perfect little.
Yeah. So good. Another question I have for you that's just for me because it's fun. What this is my me time. My me time talking to Tildy about well, this may work across the board too. One, a heat protectant.
Ooh, I'm
And
gonna
do
do
they
it.
work? And do you have a favorite?
Yes, I brought
Okay.
some products. I feel like
Oh,
this is a
yay.
commercial.
Yay. Yeah, let's do
It's little.
That's
This
what
is
I
like my
use.
little.
It must be from you.
Yes, I probably told you to use it. Oh my
Oh
gosh,
my
where is
God,
it?
that's what I use.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm using the right
So
one.
I love this. Again, an accident when I found it, but a lot of complaints that people have with heat protectants is that it's too greasy.
Yes.
It gets too greasy, it weighs your hair down.
Yeah.
This, I can compare it to, and what I'm showing, if you're listening, it's the CHI Iron Guard, and then it has the number 44.
And it's a red
It,
container and you can get it like at drugstores, right?
you can get it anywhere.
Yeah.
You can order it on Amazon, you can go to a beauty supply. It doesn't weigh the hair down. It really does work.
All hair
And it's
types.
all hair types.
Love that.
And I think the one thing that people have to remember is you don't have to oversaturate your hair because then it'll just make it stiff because it is a product, so it has stuff in it. So
Right.
you spray it as if you were going to spray a leave-in conditioner. If
Oh,
you, yeah, so if you're like confused about how much you're going to use, always start with less. You can always add more.
that's
So it
really
coats the, yes, yes, always less.
and then on top of that, like for someone like me, so I'm always like, for example, this weekend I was doing because I can't take you with me everywhere I go, but I was in Seattle doing a live podcast taping. And as I was doing my hair for it, after the heat guard, I was like, what would I do if I don't want to use like hairspray, but I could use hairspray or whatever it is to you. For some reason, my hair always stays when you do it, and it never stays when I do it. And I'm like, do I also, I don't, you don't have to give away all your secrets, but if there is a product after that one that is not going to interfere with that or make it more, because sometimes that's when I feel like my hair gets weighted down, is if I throw something else on that's like a hairspray,
Oh, got it.
texturizer, a
Mhm.
volumizer. What kind of helps hold, like, let's say I've done the heat guard, I curl my hair, and I want to give it a little something to stay in place and also to keep the volume.
Maybe it's hair prep, what you have to do before. So
Oh,
maybe what you're doing after has to be done before. So that's probably one of the things that will 100% help you. One of my
yes.
ultimate goals always is for someone to have, like, if I do your hair today, and you said it earlier, so it makes me so happy, is that like for 2 days later, you don't have to do your hair again.
Yeah.
So,
Always like
um,
that. You're always like, and so, oh, so it's the prep, it's the beforehand.
it's hair prep, yeah.
Oh,
Which I guess it comes easy to me because I'm always like, when I put like I always use a volumizing spray or some sort of volumizing, and I always blow dry at the root. And I always do a blow dry before styling, just so that if your hair tends to fall at any moment, like you'll still have a pretty blow dry underneath.
yes.
Um, so that might be something that would help.
Yeah, that would
And
help. And
you
that's me
would
being
probably,
impatient. That's me being just like, I don't have time. I'm just gonna like blow dry my hair really shitty, and then I'm just gonna put some heat guard on. Then I'm gonna like, instead of like actually taking the time to do it. This
I
is
mean, but we're all like that.
yeah.
Like for everyone else, I'm like, I'm going to prep your hair and it's going to look great. And then I go outside and my hair is like, oh,
Oh my God.
I
No,
think we're
your hair
all like
looks amazing.
that.
Your hair always looks great. Tilde always looks great. Your nails, like, okay. Um, okay, those were my two like main questions just about my hair. I mean, I have others, but I think some of them came through in the listener questions. So if you're ready, we can
Yes.
get in to those. So there were so many. By the
There
way,
were so
thank you.
many.
Yeah, and they were great. And so I'm gonna just go through and we'll see. Okay, this is probably just a question of like, if you have thin, fine hair, it says how to deal with thin, fine hair. I'm guessing that is to like maybe how to, make it feel or appear more volumized or thick or whatever. Do you have a recommendation for that?
I have so many. So my whole family has really, really thin hair. So I think I've always wanted like big hair from like the 1960s,
Yeah.
but I was born in the wrong era. So, a volumizing
Yes.
shampoo or even just a volumizer to use. With volumizing shampoo, you kind of just have to like be careful because it can dry out your hair, so you can't use it every day.
I didn't know that.
Yes,
Volumizing
it like
shampoo.
yes. You've
Okay.
never tried volumizing shampoo?
No, I have. I just didn't know that if you use it, I use it all the time. That if you use it too much, it's
Oh.
out your hair.
So what volumizing, any volumizing product, what it does is just like every little strand in your hair, it just like expands. So you don't so if you do that every day, like it's like open and like stuff can get in it. So it just gets really dry.
That makes
It's not,
total.
and it's not as moisturizing. So
That
it
makes
ends up,
That makes
yeah.
sense. But I am always just like, oh, this is great. It makes my hair feel light and kind of bouncy. But
Yeah.
okay.
Do you find that like at some point you can't comb out your hair that great?
Yeah. And
Oh,
also
that,
I find it in my ends very quickly. But yes, I'll have to use like a detangler or something.
yeah. And it
Yeah.
feels kind of like straw because it
Yeah.
doesn't have that much moisture in it.
Oh my God. Makes
So
so
the
much
lack of
sense.
moisture makes it expand. Yes. So don't, we'll get you more shampoo. We'll get you better shampoo.
Thank you, Tildy.
I'm like, I'm gonna make you a bag.
Yes, please, please. Okay, what else for thin, fine hair? So
For
some
thin,
volumizing shampoo, but don't overuse it. Got it.
yeah. I mean, also with thin or fine hair, if you feel like you're losing your hair, there's so many types of products for regrowth.
That was
Now,
several questions were about
yeah.
regrowth.
So I think it goes it's in the same subject. Nioxin has been a great shampoo. It it basically cleanses your scalp so that any hair that's not growing will grow. And I think you'll notice in like a couple of weeks that like it just cleanses your scalp to the point that you feel like hair is growing. So that is a great shampoo for thin hair. But it depends. Also not using like a very heavy conditioner
Right,
because that could just like the first day it'll look really pretty and then the next day it's like super oily and like sticking to your face.
right,
So but it's also finding the regimen that works for you, finding the products that work for you.
right.
There's a lot of hairsprays that are for thin hair, so that kind of like what you were saying, so that after you spray your hair, it doesn't like just fall.
Right,
So
exactly.
yeah, so finding lighter products, but it is also trial and error.
Yeah, as it is, because it's that's why like hair can be tough because it's so specific to
Yeah.
so many things, environment and water and all that.
Water. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I'm literally I can go get my hair highlighted or at least get it like I get it degreened
Oh, yay. Yeah.
because of my and a lot of times that's what brings out the blonde and then I don't really have to like highlight it after that. But two showers in the pipes of my building and my hair's like dull again.
It's just like a different color. Yeah. Have you ever seen the attachments that you can put in your shower?
Yes. In fact, I
They
think
work.
I'm getting one. They work, right?
They work. Yeah.
Okay. Do you have a favorite?
I have one that I tried and it was great,
Okay.
but there's others that like people have used that are amazing that they say are amazing, but I've
Yeah.
only tried one, but I
Okay.
could see the difference.
Okay,
I can
great.
feel the difference in my skin too.
Yeah, oh, that's good too. So I have a vitamin C filter. I just haven't put it on because I've been like, do I want to wash my hair in vitamin C? I think that might be good for my face, but I don't know if I want to do that on my hair. So I'm going to use a different one for my actual shower.
Yes.
But it's just to pull that whatever that is out of the
The
pipes.
minerals. It's just
Mineral.
mineral
Yeah. Um,
bleach.
that's really interesting. So that's really helpful. I mean, honestly, I think that a lot of people probably deal with that and don't even know it. Like
Yes.
it's crazy.
I have a friend that's bi-coastal. She lives in New York and lives here. And she was like, your water in Los Angeles is terrible.
Yeah,
And her hair feels softer when she's in New York. And I always just thought it was the humidity. And she's like, nope, it's the water.
it is the water. Yeah, my hair feels softer even when I go home to like Kentucky.
Oh
It's
my gosh, yeah.
yeah, it's like it's water is so interesting because you can also see like what it does, whether it's your coffee machine, like if you leave water in there for a little
Oh
while.
yeah.
Yeah, there's always like a film and stuff.
That
Anyway,
white film, yeah.
we just got on a whole water topic. I
I
love
know we're like so coffee.
yeah. So let's talk about your favorite coffee. Um,
Yeah.
so hair, so a volumizing shampoo, don't use too much. Trial and error, lighter products, obviously. And that is something that's good for me too, because I do often feel like if I put a product on top of the hair, the heat guard, it just that then there goes the curl. So
Yeah.
yeah,
It's before you curl. And you can even put it on when it's wet so that it dries into it.
the heat protectant.
Yes.
Oh, I'm gonna
Not
do
when it's
that
like
too.
soaking, but like when it's drying, so that
Yeah.
it's in there as it dries. It just dries into it.
Oh, I love that. And then it's just in there.
Yeah.
And when you're
Yeah. And you can also put like an oil on your ends, like everything before.
right. Okay. Well, this I think probably goes to the thing you were talking about with like washing your scalp, but somebody asked about scalp oily scalp between washed any advice for oily scalp between wash days and not dry shampoo.
Yeah. So one of the tricks that I have, and I actually yesterday came up on my Instagram on like one of the advertisements. I wash my bangs every single morning
Mm-hmm.
because my hair is so fine. It gets oily like as soon as I fall asleep, I'll wake up and it's really funny. It's like stuck to my head and it's doing weird things. So I literally just put my hair up in a ponytail or up in a bun and I take out all of the front and I just wash this. And then I
Oh,
blow dry it. And then this is completely untouched. It's like not oily. It's like a fresh blow dry.
right. Oh, I
So
love that. It's almost
see
like taking
that?
parts that are oily because I've done that before with like when I had layers, and the ones that would be around my face or hit my face all the time would get really oily, and I would do the same thing. I'd be like, I'm just gonna wash these little things. And
Yes.
yeah,
It
that's
really works. It's been like my saving grace. And also when your hair is oily and you like want to style it, you'll end up using like more heat. You'll end up using like a flat iron and a curling iron for it to do something, and it doesn't
right.
because it's oil.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly.
Especially in the winter, we're putting more stuff on our face so it's more moisturized, so it's hitting all of those things. That's the best I can
Okay.
think of.
All right, so that's great. Let's say favorite products for controlling frizzy hair.
Frizzy hair. Okay. So for curly hair, I have like a suggestion for curly hair and a suggestion for all other hair types. One of my favorite products, it's literally called Unfrizz Cream
Mhm.
for curly hair. Even for wavy hair, it's really great. I've never seen a product like this. It's by Virtue. They call it Virtue Labs.
Okay.
Um, it's amazing. You literally put it on when it's wet. And I kind of, another accident. I put it on, I was doing my makeup, then I forgot and I started doing all these other things. I have curly hair. It was like I didn't do anything. And I was so surprised. No frizz, nothing. It was just like a style.
Wow.
Well, it looked like a little pyramid because that's
Right.
what my hair does. But I was
It's like a
so
little pyramid.
surprised.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
ever since that happened, I've been telling everyone about it. Also, for people with curly hair, can use this too. But this oil, it's by Rusk Deep
Okay.
Shine.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
It's amazing.
Okay.
This little bottle will last you, like if one person's using it, it'll last you over a year. But it says to use it for only a year. But
Got it.
you use
Of course.
you use the smallest amount. It doesn't weigh your hair down.
Okay.
So a lot of people complain that when they're blow drying their hair, like they put a curl into it, but their oil is too heavy, so it just falls. This
Yes.
doesn't do this. I don't know what magical thing is in here. Like you
Okay.
can do anything to your hair and it'll hold, but you
What?
just have to use a small amount. I know. I've been using this is like my favorite product. If I was in a deserted island ever alone, what would I
Yes.
bring? I would bring this.
I'm buying this today.
Oh my gosh.
I
I would
like
probably
honestly.
I'll give you some.
You put it in before you curl?
Yeah, well you put it in as your hair is drying.
Or
I
as
think
you're
that's
saying.
something that would work really great for you.
Oh my
Like
God,
to
I'm
put stuff
excited.
in while your hair is drying.
Okay,
And
great.
then if you do it the next day, like you don't wash your hair the next day, don't put more. You
Yeah.
don't need
Okay.
to. Only if it's frizzy, again, for frizzy hair, you can use this, but this is a good prep. And I think that's one of the things that people need to do to help with frizz is like the day that they wash, use the right products. Take a little bit more time to like spend on your hair,
Mhm.
because that's the thing that's going to help
I'm
even
learning.
days.
Yeah. Okay, so it's wash day, prep, all of that. It really matters, and that's what'll extend the life of like everything you're doing.
Yes. So
Uh,
if you wash your hair once a week, do
yeah.
your hair that first day, and then it's just maintenance after that.
That's so great. Okay, cool. All right, we did tips on hair growth. There was one that said, "What do you see trending maybe later this year?" I don't know if that is like a style or whatever. I mean, I see a lot of like these Y2K, like the little braids like around the face. Although that might
Yeah.
be a teeny bit, but I've seen some of that or a lot of that where I'm like, "Oh my God, I feel like that was just a minute ago." I feel like it's crazy that
Yeah.
it's like
Or
vintage.
like the little clips that we used
Yeah.
to. Like
Oh
they
my
were just
God,
like
I've seen the clips everywhere. My neighbor in
yeah.
my building, she always comes out with her little clips in, and I'm like, oh my God, that's so cute. And also, I remember.
Yes. No, totally. 100%. The other thing that was coming back, but I feel like it's also like kind of 80s, but I feel like it was like there always has been one every year, but the request for haircuts that I've been getting is the wolf cut. Have you heard of
What?
this?
No.
Okay, so basically what it is a really fancy mullet.
Oh my God. Okay. So I was in Seattle this weekend,
Yeah.
at a big convention, like a Comic-Con, and
Yeah, yeah.
I saw a lot of this. And I was like, is this a character? Because a lot of them are in cosplay, a lot of them are in costume
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
whatever. And so I didn't know, but a lot of people have this kind of like
Yes.
Like, yeah. So it's
Yeah,
called,
it's like bigger and like it
yes,
goes into like this little thin at the bottom.
yes.
Yes, I was surprised at the amount of people. Like, let's say that I do like, I don't do that many haircuts, but let's say I do like 6 haircuts a month.
Mhm.
All 6 people wanted that haircut. Where I had to be like, are you like,
Sure.
what? I'm like, are you sure? I know it's in, but
I,
like,
I gotta
there's,
look. I gotta like look this up now. Also, Tilde, I need
yeah,
you. But I don't do anything. I literally wait until I see you. So I'm like, now I'm like, oh God, we gotta like add some time in. I need a trim.
yeah, no, but I mean, if you want the wolf cut, we have a therapy session beforehand. I'm
I,
always like,
I don't want the
what?
wolf cut,
Okay, good.
but I do need a trim. And one of
Oh
the
my gosh,
questions was,
yes.
would we do a tutorial? And I think we totally should. It's tricky because like my hair is not going to be like the next person's hair, the next person's hair, the next person's hair, but we can certainly do a tutorial of products and like how you
Yeah.
use them and like stuff like that. So people ask that, and we are going to have like a beauty day at some point. Tilde is super busy. Anton is super busy. So we'll figure out a day that like the three of us maybe can get
Oh my
together.
gosh, it'd be so fun.
It'll be so fun, and we can film it, and we can like put the little pieces on social media so we can show all these products as well, which we'll do anyway on the socials. But yeah, the to the tutorial question, yes. Okay.
Yes.
Let's see here. A tutorial on how to curl your hair. Okay. Oh, that was it. So this was the curl your hair and what products. So we'll do that. We hear you. I saw this one too. How do you, I don't know what platinum, that must be a hair color, but it says, how do you make Asian hair platinum safely?
Seek professional help.
Okay.
Um,
Is
I
platinum
wouldn't,
like a color?
it's like blonde, it's like
The
bleach
white
blonde,
blonde. Got it.
white,
Okay. That's what I
and
thought.
then like a
Mhm.
little gray.
Got it.
So, but
Oh, I know that. I know that color. I've seen it.
yeah, it's gorgeous. But if you're starting, most Asian women have very dark brown,
Yeah.
black hair, which is one end of the spectrum. And
Right.
then platinum is like the complete end.
Yeah.
So safely, like when a normal person does their roots, they go 2 to 3 shades and it's easy. But this is like 10 shades sometimes.
Right. Right.
So if you want to do it safely, I would say find a great hairstylist.
Yeah.
I would never recommend to do that at home.
Oh, okay. That's good. That's good. Good advice. Tildy's here with
Yeah.
good advice. Um, I mean, you probably already said this, but what are your top three can't live without hair care products? Is that would be the oil that
That
you,
would be this oil. Yes.
yeah.
Rusk. I obsessed. I always put it in your hair.
Oh,
It
this is the best. It smells so good too.
it smells amazing. Orbe, I love them. This is like you don't need perfume, you just need this. So this is a dry texturing spray. Anyone can use it. The easiest way to describe it, it's half hairspray, half dry shampoo. So it
I was
gives you a
just
little bit.
gonna say, can you use it as a hairspray?
You can use, yes, it's like a hairspray. But it wouldn't be. It would be like a soft hold.
Okay. That's
It'll
nice.
hold, but softly.
That's
Like
nice.
you can still run your hands through your hair.
Okay.
Um,
Next.
the third one, I mean, I love this one, and I mean, I always use this one.
Okay, great.
Which is the Virtue Unfrizz cream, but I always use the Iron Guard,
Okay. I love
the
it.
heat protection. So those are the, yeah, four, but three.
Four but three. We got all we you can say as many as you want, but those are that covers a lot too. And I feel like that covers a lot of hair. Um, best way it says seriously question. Oh, this is good. I feel like a lot of people want to know this. How often should you wash your hair?
Oh my gosh. Okay, so I don't think you should wash your hair every day,
Okay.
but I do have some people that are like, no, I need to wash my hair every day. So if you're that person, you happily be that person. That's great. I
Yeah.
don't think you need to wash your hair every day. Every 3 days would be
Yeah.
great, but during the winter, your hair, it's drier outside. You
Yeah.
can go a few more days. Your hair
Yeah.
needs the natural oils to protect it. So when you wash it every day, it removes those natural oils. there's a point where your hair gets way too oily and you do need to wash it.
Yeah.
Um, but
I love
between
letting my hair go like for a few days, even if it gets really nasty as it did this morning. I hadn't washed it since Thursday. No, I washed it Friday morning. Today's Monday. That's not too crazy, but
no,
like
that's not bad at all.
no,
No,
but I love it. It feels so good when I can go like 5 days and then wash
just
it. Like
wash it. Put it in a ponytail, you put it in a bun. There's so many, whatever you want. It's
I
fine.
I love that. Okay. I don't know. Best way to brush. Oh, best way to brush curly hair if it's not wet.
If you brush curly hair, it'll just frizz.
Yeah,
So I feel like I would have a follow-up question to that where is it that is it tangled so you want to brush it? Is it getting like a little dread so you want to comb that out?
right.
Usually with curly hair, if I need to like brush, I guess it's
Try.
like I do raking, which is like right on top, and I like slowly like it's like you're petting the hair with your brush, but you
Nice.
don't go straight through it because then
Yeah.
it just gets bigger.
Yeah,
Um,
I think that might be the point. Yeah, the question being
yeah.
too much does it get? Oh, I like this raking. Plus, you've got these like gorgeous nails. Um,
Oh,
Hildy always has the most incredible nails and the most incredible nail colors, and she's ever nail inspo. All right, last question, and it's very silly, but like, and you don't have to answer it if you don't want to. But what is the weirdest hairstyle? We may have already said it that you've been asked to do.
I can't think of anything.
No, I feel like hair is like art, so it's almost like
It's not really, yeah, hair really doesn't get weird.
yeah.
I mean, especially working in editorials, um, it actually gets really fun to put like wires in people's hair and like make it stand up and do really crazy things.
Maybe that's what
Um,
I'll ask. What's your favorite that you've ever been asked? Was there one
yeah.
that you were like, oh my God, this was my, whatever, Mona Lisa, or Sistine Chapel. Yeah.
Aw, Michelangelo.
Michelangelo.
Um, one of my favorite things to do is art editorials because it's not like a normal red carpet. Someone doesn't have to look like everyday or like fancy. So we've done braids with like wires in them so the hair like
Oh,
has like more of like an artsy feel, or like we put like jewels in them and things like that.
well, fun.
Um, so when we get complete freedom to do things, which it doesn't happen often, it's a lot of fun. And it's just so it's great to do because it's art and it's part of like creating, and you're there with like everyone, with the stylist and the makeup artist, and you're just creating a whole piece of art
Right.
practically.
Right. What do you have? What are your thoughts on bangs if you're going
I
through
love
a hard time?
things.
I was gonna say, I love your long bangs, and every time I'm like, I want to get some long bangs, maybe, and everyone's always like, Maggie, don't do that, and I'm always like, why?
You could even just start with like a little piece. I literally, my bang world is hilarious.
Yeah,
I start with this
gorgeous.
little itty bitty piece and
Yeah,
I cut it. And then like throughout the week I keep cutting it and then I have like more of a bang, but it just grows out.
it
Like you
looks
can always
so
have like
good.
thanks.
A
You
long
should do just
one.
yeah.
Maybe when
Yeah.
you do our beauty day, and maybe when I do a trim, we'll do a little I feel like bangs are always so polarizing for people. People are always like, don't but
Yeah.
I think it's so I love them, and I
I
think it's so much
love bangs. And
yeah,
they're coming back. They're
yeah,
like the straight across thicker bang. I mean, a lot of people, I feel like the curtain bang is always in.
yeah,
But that I've seen so much like upcoming.
oh, I love that. I love that look, and I always love people who like are brave enough to go there because I feel like it is like a whole it's a whole look. It's not
Yeah.
like it goes with like it's like fashion. It's like we were talking about like editorial, like um it's brave. I wish I could do more that way. I'll show you when you come over that I bought a wig. Um
You did?
auditions, like a real hair wig. Yeah, that I went to the hair shop and I tried a bunch on and I found this like
Really?
dark because I was thinking about going dark with my hair anyway, just
Okay.
because naturally, I feel like, well, it looks really light in this right now, but naturally, I feel like the grow out is like getting darker. So, Tildy, when you come over, maybe we'll play with it too, because it's like real hair. So I can
Yeah.
style it. And so I got it for auditions just because it's a look I love that I'm probably not doing permanently yet, but that, kind of gives characters and stuff. Like it just, adds a
Yeah.
little, his hair is like that.
Yeah, it's diverse.
It's
Yeah.
so diverse and like you can create a whole look. Like hair is like a anyway, that's why I love talking about it. And I've always had this is basically my what my hair has always been. And I think I'm like reaching that point where I'm like, if
Oh,
I
do you want to change?
now, I mean, it's just because it's I'm at a place where I could and I could also it grows. So it'll
It
grow
grows.
out if I did get it cut, but we'll see. We'll see. I'll show you this wig.
I
Yeah.
I do love that you went and got a wig. Usually
Yeah.
when people want to do like a hair color change, I'm like, go to the wig store and just try it on and see how it feels
Yeah.
before we like commit to like red hair on top of your blonde because you can't. That's
It's hard to go
that's
back
a
to.
whole other podcast.
Oh my God.
Uh,
When I did Nancy Drew, I did this show in 2001. Sorry, 2002. And
yeah.
they wanted me to be a strawberry blonde. And I don't know if I still have a picture. I probably don't because it was like before it would have to be like a hard, an actual printed picture from film only.
Yeah.
Um, but my hair, this is how I met the girl who actually does my hair color, Carrie,
Oh, really?
because I went to it was somebody that the like ABC had sent me to, and God bless him, he was so nice or whatever. It was going to take several what is that called, processes or whatever to get it to the right color.
Yeah.
Oh, till the bright orange.
Yeah, they have
Like
to
it was
do that.
bright orange. And so they sent me then to this salon to work with this woman and she ended up leaving. She was on maternity leave and she like left that day or something, and they were like, but we have this other person, and Carrie has been doing my highlights since I was 21. uh
Wow. Just
just a few
yesterday.
years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like just
So
yesterday.
the strawberry just yesterday. She fixed that color. But I think when even you don't realize like the simple, even if it's just a simple leap, it can like you gotta make sure you do it gradual and make sure you're really sure about it.
Yeah, it's that's like where makeup artists come in too with like your undertones and everything. Like your
Yes.
hair color brings that out too. And
So, so true.
I just would say like fall in love with your hair.
Oh,
And find out what works for you. And I think the one thing I always tell my clients, like a lot of people are embarrassed to tell me what kind of products they're using. And I'm like, what helps you and what works for you, you don't have to continue to switch it if it's like working. Like if it
yeah.
worked, like somebody was like, she's like, I've used this for years and I've never wanted to tell you, but she's been using Pert Plus because she has a lot of dandruff. And I'm like, if that works for you and you found out that that works for you, it's okay. Use it. Use what works for you because
Yep.
everybody's unique. And
I
there's,
it's thank you for saying that because I think that's the most important part of all of the beauty of all beauty stuff. I have a friend who has the most beautiful skin. She uses oil Volay, the original in that little bottle that we all know from like the 80s or
from
whatever.
like my mom. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like her whole life. That's like the only thing she's used. And it's like if it's not broke, don't fix it.
Yeah.
And
Exactly.
yeah, so I love that advice. I think that's
Yeah. You don't have to spend all this money trying to find something that's fancier. If it works for you, don't tell anybody. Just be like, oh, I use a shampoo. That's great. You don't have to,
you don't
but
have to
you don't have,
explain. Yeah.
yeah.
You heard it here
Just,
first. Pert Plus for
yeah.
the win, everybody. We love it.
Let's
But
sponsor
it's
us.
true. Nothing to
Yeah.
be ashamed of, ever. Tildy, you were just honestly, I want to have you on again. I've already thought of a million other things I kind of want to ask you and like talk to you about just because you're also such an incredible woman. And especially
Oh,
hearing this story of like how you signed up for what you thought was makeup, school cosmetology being cosmetics, and it being a hair course, and like finding this at 16 years old, almost like finding this like kind of path and calling. But I think you're so like inspiring to I think so many people, and I know to me. And so we'll have you on again for sure. And
aw. Thank you. I would love that.